I'm wondering what it's going to take for some of our colleagues, friends, family, neighbors to understand what's going on. And I'm talking mainly about the MAGA folks, obviously. Uh, Hitler was able to dismantle democracy there in what, 50 some odd days? There's too much out there for this to be ignored. And this is not, I mean, if it's still about tribalism, we have really big problems. But we're now talking genocide that Trump so casually mentions while standing next to Bibi Netanyahu, that he's going to move the Palestinians out of Gaza and just put them in other countries. And then the United States is going to take over Gaza and build hotels and resorts, meaning him, Trump Tower. He and his oligarch friends will all get rich with ethnic cleansing. The fact that he's already taken some migrants, undocumented migrants that he says are the worst of the criminals, and they have been shipped to Gitmo, to Guantanamo Bay today. Hitler also moved Jews out of sight so that people wouldn't know about the gas chambers and the ovens. You see? Now, I talked about this before, and I've had Greg Ollier on my podcast because he wrote a very interesting piece some time ago about how this happens and how he sees Trump doing the same thing. This was even before we had the Elon Musk huge problem. I mean, he's been a problem for a while, but before we really started understanding what was happening. But Greg Ollier was talking about how in Poland, it's very expensive to deport people and send them elsewhere. So that's where there's the final solution. I know there was a time not too long ago where talk like this would have seemed like conspiracy theory stuff, but we are there. We've been there for a while. And I don't want to go to my grave one day wondering if I did enough, if I spoke out enough. But we are there. All of these things that we thought could never happen in our country are happening. So Trump is talking about ethnic cleansing. Okay. The fact that Elon Musk, okay, now when the MAGA that say, oh, but this is what he said he was going to do. He ran on this. No, he didn't. He talked about having Elon Musk in an advisory role. And Elon Musk and his goons, who are not government employees, aren't anything. They have no authority. They went to USAID, and apparently they threatened to arrest staffers there, a couple of top-level people who weren't going to let them in because they are not authorized to go in and do this. They threatened them with arrest. They were going to call the U.S. Marshals. These are private citizens. These are these kids, the 19 to 24-year-old group of people that Elon Musk have assembled. Clearly, these people are too naive and too stupid to understand the gravity of what they're doing. They do not understand. And I think all but one of these is a man. These young guys, these incels that think this is so cool, they're doing this. If it doesn't work out for them, they've ruined their lives. And obviously, we hope it doesn't work out for them because we're trying to save our country from this. We have Elon Musk doing the Nazi salute, claiming it wasn't, but it was. He did it twice. We have him, canoodling and working with and advising and supporting and endorsing a Nazi group in Germany. We have him openly doing this stuff. We know his grandparents were Nazis. His own father is on the record, on camera, as saying so. Elon Musk is a white supremacist. And it looks like now he's robbing us blind. What he's doing is unconstitutional. He has no authority to do this. And if there wasn't something amiss, well, Republicans would be having the proper congressional hearings and having Elon Musk and maybe some others stand there and answer questions openly, about this audit. But that's not what they're doing. So anybody who thinks that what's happening is okay and that we're going to be okay, you're fooling yourselves. If it was okay, there would be hearings. And I don't think that I think there might be bipartisan support for the proper audits. Now, there is a congressional oversight function for each of the authorizing committees. They have the responsibility of authorizing the funds. And yes, they can audit and cut wasteful programs from those federal agencies over which they have oversight authority. We have steps in place to do that. And it's been done in the past. When I worked on Capitol Hill, I worked on those projects where we would find wasteful or duplicative programs and saving the taxpayers money. And we had hearings. It was all done out in the open, transparency. Okay. And then I guess if there was question or there wanted to be some back and forth or there was, disagreement on whether a program is wasteful or, what, then you do that. You have those discussions. You have that fight. What Elon Musk is doing is a coup. We are being attacked by him and Trump, who's not working for us. He's working for the oligarchs. Did you see Susie Wiles' face, Trump's chief of staff, when he was talking about basically genocide and taking over Gaza? She looked stricken. There's a reason for that. She's sitting there thinking, oh my God, am I working for and facilitating genocide? She didn't sign up for this. She's Trump's chief of staff and was campaign manager. I think she started her career, I'm told, as a receptionist for Jack Kemp. A friend of mine who used to work for Jack Kemp told me that. So she's been a traditional, I guess, conservative Republican. And she's now working for a president who's talking about genocide and taking over Gaza, and the United States will own it, meaning him and Elon and Putin. And her jaw dropped. That was a pretty good barometer about what's going on. I don't hear a lot of MAGA defending this. They've gotten real quiet. A lot of bots and trolls. Now, there's a few people that are on social media that they'll just defend anything that Trump is doing. You'd think that his chief of staff would be the first one. The look on her face made it clear. She's thinking, what the hell is going on? And I suspect there's a lot of that. Now, some of the talking heads on TV that get paid to do this, like Scott Jennings on CNN, they have no conscience. They have no soul. They're opportunists. And they are now going to be guilty of promoting genocide. And I think it's really important that we hold these people's feet to the fire. If we cannot stop it, we make them know that the world holds them accountable for this. Trump didn't run on annexing Gaza. Trump didn't run on militarily invading Greenland to take them over, to annex them. He didn't run on doing the same in Panama and Canada. All of this is new. He didn't run on saying, well, we're going to tear down this economy and build it back up again. It's going to hurt for a while. This is the best economy we've had ever, I think, in my lifetime. The Biden economy was superb. And now Trump is tanking it. I guess he thinks there's enough of a financial buffer there, a lot to work with now, where he can stuff his pockets and the pockets of his oligarch friends with our money because Biden built up this great economy. Trump ran on lowering food prices, grocery prices. And now he tells us, oh, I can't do that. You have his bots and trolls and his goons and his Nazi friends, the ones that the ones that actually are trying to articulate messages on Twitter saying, oh, you just don't want government waste to be, you're supporting government waste. No one supports government waste and fraud. But Elon Musk isn't the guy to go in there and do that. You don't go in there like this. He was supposed to be an advisor. He's not been elected to anything. He's not been confirmed to anything. He's not even answering to the authorizing committees and the oversight committees in Congress. We have Republican senators putting out public letters begging Trump not to do this, that, and the other thing, not to cut this off, because you know what? They have constituents. And we've talked about this. Remember, I keep saying, contact your Republican, stay in contact with your Republican House and Senate members. Make them choose. Do they work for Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin, or do they work for you? We pay them, but that doesn't seem to matter. But again, with these slim majorities in the House and the Senate, because we get a few Republicans voting against some of Trump nominees. Not enough. We just need one more. Make them always have to answer that question. Who do you work for? Because if they are not holding hearings, if they are not demanding hearings for Elon Musk, then they aren't working for you. They are supporting lawlessness, a coup, the destruction of our Constitution, and opening the door for Elon Musk, have all of our information, your banking information, just it's a heist right out here in the open. When what we should be doing is having really big public hearings. And if Elon Musk is so good at this, and if he and Donald Trump want what's best for America and cut the waste and fraud, then have the hearings. Expose those things. Maybe there are some programs where we can cut. I mean, it's a big government. These things happen. Doesn't mean someone's being, trying to, they're accusing people of getting this USAID money. Doesn't happen like that. It's not a grift. But there could be a legitimate function, and there should be. There should be in every Congress. And if they want to really make it a focus and put Elon in charge, then go through the proper channels. Why won't they do this? The fact that they go in the dark of night, chaos and the element of surprise, threatening to, forcing people out, threatening them, firing them, locking them out. My God, we're being ripped off. We are being ripped. And then they shut down in all 50 states the portals for Medicaid and other services to harm people, to show that they can. Unfortunately, I think our best bet are Republicans in Congress. It won't take many of them, but we're starting to see some movement where some of these senators that thought, oh, we didn't know he meant, hurt in this way, with Trump doing these things that he didn't talk about when he was running for president. So they understand that Trump doesn't care about them or their constituents. And that if we are allowed, if we survive enough to have actual real elections, not the kind that Putin has, where he automatically wins, with all the cheating, if we are somehow able to have elections, then these members of Congress, in the House and Senate, will need to worry about their own reelection. And when their own constituents that voted for them, the MAGA, are saying, what the hell, man? We didn't know Trump meant to do this to us. Or the people who think they're Christians, these MAGA white nationalist Christians, do they draw the line at genocide? The fact that we now have other countries offering to take our criminals, even our, American-born criminals, and put them in prisons overseas and in their countries for a fee, or in South America, that should scare us as well, because we now know that Trump and his DOJ and the very, very corrupt Pam Bondi, shame on you, John Fetterman, for voting for her to confirm her, but Pam Bondi, they will just name somebody a criminal. They'll have some show trial, some Banana Republic fake trial, call them a criminal, and put them somewhere where we don't know what happens to them. And it won't be like American prisons, where we at least have some oversight and some standards. And I think this is what Trump wants to do. He'll just decide that Adam Schiff is a criminal, Pam Bondi, the new AG, make him a criminal, and Adam Schiff disappears into a jungle somewhere at a so-called prison, and we never hear from him again. This will happen. They are already starting to try to make it happen. There's a reason why Joe Biden issued these preemptive pardons for these folks. Not because they're guilty of any crime. He knows they're not. But it at least might stave off what Trump is trying to do. He will always have MAGA support for some of this. Some people are bloodthirsty. They love this. They love their team winning. They want to see you beaten up and they want to see people dragged through the streets. Americans. They've been so brainwashed. It's like Lord of the Flies. Everybody beating up on Piggy to get crack open the skull. This is what a lot of MAGA want, but not all. We have to ensure that people understand what is happening. We have to make sure that we are constantly contacting our elected officials. Again, hold your nose and contact the Republicans. Make sure that MAGA understands what's going on, because then when some of them start understanding, they might not get their Social Security check, or they really don't want it on their conscience that they're supporting ethnic cleansing and genocide in Gaza, or people just disappearing into some foreign prisons that Trump is paying for. It might be a bridge too far for them. I'm not even going to give these people credit for caring about other people. When MAGA realizes that Trump is not there for them, then they're going to realize that anything can happen to them. This stuff that they're cheering on for Trump to do to other people, when they realize it could just as easily happen to them. I mean, at a minimum, obviously, the economic hit. But at some point, they will turn on them, and they will be the ones. You want MAGA voters to contact their Republican senators and House members, and we need this to happen quickly. They need to join us in this and say, can we at least have hearings? They don't even have to say, we oppose Musk. They can say, we oppose the way this is going about. We're fine with an audit, but whoa. And that's how the Republican senators and House members understand that they have to choose who they work for and who they answer to. So it is very important that we be as vocal as we've ever been. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope you'll get other people to subscribe. I thank you for stopping by. And I will keep doing this. But the more people that see this and understand that it is now up to each of us, we each have a role to play. We can't stand by helplessly. But we are now talking about ethnic cleansing, genocide, militarily invading other countries and taking them over. God knows what's being wiped out of our federal treasury because of Elon Musk. That's it. This is where we are. But this is happening. This is not conspiracy theories. And it is important that we all understand that.